used to be with it. Then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
Well, good morning for us, and welcome to the What I'm With podcast. I'm Dave. I'm your host today, and with me is my brother Tim, who likes to cosplay as Squirrel Girl. So, we went to a concert. And while we're feeling the impact of our concert as men in our 40s, I can only imagine what the gentlemen in their 70s must be feeling today.
Yeah.
All we did was attend.
Yeah, they rocked the house.
They were absolutely amazing. So if it's not extremely obvious by my shirt, by the title of the episode, and by the last episode, this is part 2 of our Petra journey.
Yes, sir.
So, where would you like to begin?
I would like to begin by asking you the question, was this the first time we saw Petra?
No.
Because it is the last time we're going to see
It is the last time on their 50th anniversary tour that we will ever see Petra live in concert. But it is the second time that we have seen Petra. So we live near, I don't know, 4-ish amusement parks.
Yeah.
And back in now, I've been trying to put my ears to work as to what year this was that we saw. I know I had to have been in grade school.
Yes.
So that puts us up through the very early 90s.
Yeah, my guess is 89.
I think that would be pretty close to correct, which means I was all of 7 years old when we saw Petra in concert at King's Dominion in Northern Virginia.
Which is a theme park with roller coasters.
Yes.
Water park.
So I don't know if parks do this sort of thing now, but at the time they would do a church affiliate day.
Yeah.
Where basically you could, with part of multiple other congregations, you could get a discount for that day.
Right. I
So
think they do it with schools too. Like,
yeah, there's school stuff and company stuff. And,
Yeah.
it exists. I just don't know if there's still that sort of program for churches. I'm not in the know on that. But anyway, so we went on that day.
Yes.
To King's Dominion because it was going to be the least expensive day to go.
Right.
And we got there. It was, of course, already going to be an amazing day.
Yep.
Roller coasters, all that fun. I believe a bunch of our friends from our church were also there.
Yep.
These are the guys we grew up with. These are the guys we were listening to Petra with.
Yes.
I have an aside for that, which we'll get to. So we get there and we find flyers or some flyers, like printed flyers.
I remember seeing it in a long one that were for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I see this flyer.
And it's Petra playing today.
Right.
At King's Dominion. And we're going to have to ask, I don't think we ever have brought this up, we have to ask our parents, did they know?
Right.
Because to the best of my knowledge, they did not.
No. Did they know Petra was going to be there?
Right.
Yeah, because this was not our first trip to King's Dominion, and
No, we would go every couple.
Yeah, it was kind of like we would do a big vacation one year and then do King's Dominion the other.
Yeah. And I don't even know why we did King's Dominion when geographically there were 2 other parks that were closer.
My best guess is that it had a good rolling scale of roller coasters.
That's true.
So
yeah, it did. So there
depending
was
on
stuff
your age,
for
there's
stuff
something
for me, stuff for you, stuff for your parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all I was gonna say is typically when we would go, it would be an all-day event, and we would leave. As the sun's going down, summertime, 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which happened to be when Petra was starting.
Right. So we got to see Petra live in concert. I remember I don't remember a single thing about the show except that it happened and that it was like chip marble gravel.
Yes.
And wooden benches. Mm-hmm. And I picked up pieces of gravel and wrote Petra out of gravel on the benches in case they forgot they were Petra. I have no, I don't know. 7.
Look, back then they would have been in their 30s, and in their 70s. I mean, they're rock. This is not a knock on their age. Just they're rocking so hard. I could imagine forgetting a lot of things.
Yeah.
So in your 30s, you could probably forget too. So you did a service.
I did a service that, in case they could see that many rows back,
right,
on that low of a plane, the word Petra, just to remind them who they were.
Yeah.
Of course. Or maybe to remind the people around who we were listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who knows? But either way, yeah, it was one of those locked-in memories.
And it's arguably the first rock and roll concert of our lives.
Yeah, I think we had been to one. I think we had actually seen Carmen, famous Christian singer Carmen.
That's possible. I wouldn't classify him as rock and roll.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
but yes, this was maybe the second concert overall,
right?
Yeah.
And then, but the first of our music.
Yes. Now, jumping back to the guys we grew up with and Petra, we had talked in other episodes about our time in various bands and what it was like to play shows and stuff like that. Do you remember the first time we were ever on stage was in our church talent show?
Oh my gosh.
Pantomimed, playing instruments and singing and lip syncing to Petra.
Yes.
We did it on stage for like I don't know if it was like a church talent show or what it was. Yeah. And I so desperately wanted to be the singer, so desperately, and Sid got to be the singer, and we made fun of his moves.
Yeah, holding
the mic and just
wow.
Yeah, still in there,
locked in,
still completely in there.
I've not talked about this.
I can't remember ever talking about this in adult life.
Yeah,
but it's a locked in memory, and that might be the first instance that I can recall in my life of jealousy. Because that was what I wanted, and I didn't get it, and I wanted it so badly.
The other thing I remember acutely is our friend Matt had a toy electric guitar where each fret was like a button you push and would make a different sound.
Yeah, and then I think our friend Aaron actually got a real bass guitar that was way too heavy for him.
Yes, it was actually the
bass player.
Named Al. It was his bass, and so
and it was too heavy for him.
He was as big as the bass.
It's arguable which one was heavier.
Yeah,
I mean the electric basses and skinny boys.
Yeah, yeah. It was quite the thing. Yeah. Oh wow, I had not thought about that in ages.
It popped in my head as I was going home from your house last night after the concert. I was like, oh man, we could have talked about that. But now
we did talk about that. Look at us.
Yeah, finding content from our fragile, aging brains.
Looking for this guy that floats away into oblivion.
Yeah. So, we've got our first Petra concert.
Yeah.
We've got our first time on stage as Petra.
Yeah.
And I think I might have been the keyboard player. I don't remember what I did.
I don't remember either.
I know that, I wasn't the singer. That's all that I remember.
Yeah.
That's the important part. I needed the spotlight and didn't get it. This has not moved into later life.
Nope. No.
Not even a little bit.
It died that day.
That day. Don't ever want attention ever.
Right.
Yeah. So we're both dragging today. But we're here for you. This is the service we provide you.
Yes. Are we not merciful?
We are indeed. Again, has nothing to do with me needing the spotlight. All right. So we can go into the game if you're ready.
Yeah, let's go into the game, and just let's not forget to talk more about our experience from the show last night.
Yes, absolutely. It was an awesome time. So,
to refresh, what is our game?
We had a handful of criteria that we picked about the set list that we were going to add as a round of everything is an opportunity to prove which one of us is best.
Yes.
So, whoever has the highest correct guesses on their set list, we were doing first 5 songs, last 5 songs, and those are in no particular order.
Correct. Then
within those chunks, what's their opener? What's their second to last? What's their last? Then we had what album gets the most, and if there's an encore, what will it be?
Yeah,
I believe that's all the criteria we had covered.
Correct. And so one of the things that did happen is they matched up some songs.
Oh, we have to make a determination real quick about this.
So I think what we had discussed last night was we're not going to count those as songs unless we hit a tie on the other categories.
So, and not counting them means that we're also not going to count them toward the album totals because I did all the math this morning, and that will swing which album got the most play.
Yeah. Oh, I know it will.
Heavily.
I know it will because I was surprised what album in full songs got the most play.
Yeah.
It was not what I expected.
No.
Or the one after that I would have.
So, to go. So we kept track of the set list on this lovely little notebook that we bought the morning of.
And those little white squiggles you see on there, we bought some paint pens to try to get autographs on some of our old cassettes.
Yes,
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I met the guitarist's son, and I was like, oh, hey, are they going to be signing stuff afterwards here at the table? And he's like, no, man, they're in their 70s. They got to go home. Or go to the hotel and get some rest.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
And considering how, hundreds of people there.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds. And if they had to wait to, grip and grin with every last person who wanted to,
yeah, they'd be there.
They'd be there
until their next show
tonight. And then they're going to play, I think tomorrow night in Ohio. So they're leaving Pennsylvania to go to Ohio and play with White Cross.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
wow.
Right?
Hopefully we had that. That would be cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I've got the totals on my phone that we can reference. We have our sealed envelopes that we brought in last episode. So let's go ahead and get to it.
I'm going to go ahead and tear my envelope.
Okay. All right. So I will read off, I will ask you to read off your list.
All right.
And then you're going to have to take over reading off of mine as well. All right, so Tim, let's start with, what did you have as their opening song?
All Fired Up.
Okay. Their actual opening song was Whole World in His Hands, which never in a million years. You can go back to last episode, maybe we'll put it up on the Jumbotron, of me being supremely confident.
I am willing to bet all of the points that I have the opener right.
About the opening song.
Yeah. I
would not have seen Whole World in His Hand coming. Not to spoil my list, but I never in a million years would guess that. All right. What are your first 5 songs? In no order.
All Fired Up, This Means War, Seen and Not Heard, Jekyll and Hyde, I Love the Lord.
Their actual first 5, Whole World in His Hands, You're in the Right Place, Dance, Council of the Holy, and Just Reach Out. So that's, so far, on 2 categories, goose egg.
Nil.
Okay. Now, moving on to final 5.
Okay.
What do you got?
Beyond Belief.
Okay.
First Love. What's in a Name? I Am on the Rock. Back to the Street.
Okay. The actual final 5, not counting the encore, were Jekyll and Hyde, Beyond Belief, so there's a point. Lord, I Lift Your Name on High, Somebody's Gonna Praise His Name, and King of Kings. So that's 1 point.
1 point.
Okay. Now, encore. What do you have?
God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Actual encore. He came, he saw, he conquered.
Excellent song.
Excellent song. Great. Loved it. All right. And finally, what did you pick as the album to get the most plays?
I picked From My Heart. I picked On Fire. I chose poorly.
Actually, you are in a draw. Because when you take out the mashups, I have On Fire and Beyond Belief tied at 2 full songs.
Those were the 2 that I was toggling between for that choice. Interesting.
Indeed. So you are at, we'll call it
1.5.
1.5 points. Yep. All right. So why don't you take my list?
All right.
For the ladies and gentlemen at home.
I was very tempted to rip this down the middle out of spite, but I shan't. I'm an adult sometimes.
All right, so 1.5 points for Tim.
1.5 points. Everyone keep track of that number. It may come into play later.
Okay.
All right, so I'm very pleased, given your envelope, this is not written in blood or magazine clippings. It's just normal text.
Okay. So what do we have for my opener?
I see how you did. Okay. All Fired Up.
Yep.
We chose the same.
We did. Because why would you not start with Fire Up?
Yeah.
Shocked that it didn't even make the list.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah, me too.
Like, legitimately. Okay. Now, what are my opening 5?
Crap. They are All Fired Up. Dance. That's 1 point. Council of the Holy. That's 2 points. It's already over. Fool's Gold. I Am on the Rock.
Okay. That's 2.
That's 2.
All right. What are my final 5?
Beyond Belief.
Okay.
Love. Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. Somebody's gonna praise His name. And Jekyll and Hyde.
So that's, is that 4? Oh, Love didn't make it, so it's 3. Love was in the mashup.
Uh-huh.
So Jekyll and Hyde, Beyond Belief. Lord, I lift your name on high, and somebody's going to praise his name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's 4.
Yeah.
So that's 6 points.
6 points.
Okay,
So,
6.5, because
so
I picked Beyond Belief.
I can still come back.
You still got this. All right. So, and then, did I get the last 2, either of them right in order? The penultimate being somebody's going to praise his name. Did I get that as penultimate?
Yes, you did.
7.5. And encore, of course, I also picked God Gave Rock and Roll to You. But wait, Tim, there's a twist.
Oh.
I hid an envelope in this room.
What? Bonus. It also looks like if you got this in your mail,
that one might be written
you
in
might
blood.
call the police.
Don't remember. I wrote that one in blood.
All right.
Okay.
Bonus.
And before you read the list, read the statement on top.
The previous list was a lie.
So, I found a website. After I made my actual list that my brother is now holding, I found a website that had their set list from when they played last month.
Ooh.
Or, I'm sorry, last October.
Okay.
So, after I made my list, I made that to intimidate you into thinking I wiped the floor with you.
It worked.
Good. Isn't this fun? Now let's see how I actually did.
You monsieur. Monsieur.
Monsieur.
Monsieur.
I'm French? Yeah.
Remember the croque monsieur?
Yeah, that's a good sandwich.
It's a weird but somehow delicious sandwich.
Yes. Okay.
I'm trying to derail the entire thing because of the nerves. Okay, so here we go.
All right, so what's my first song?
All fired up.
In every instance, and apparently in October, that's what they did. They threw a curveball.
Yeah, I was actually, I was not disappointed with a single song.
No. Okay.
All right.
So my first 5.
All fired up.
Uh-huh.
Walking in the light.
Uh-huh.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Uh-huh.
Beyond Belief.
Uh-huh.
Creed. Goose egg.
Yeah. All right, my final 5.
Adonai. Oh, I wish.
I wish, man.
Council of the Holy.
Uh-huh.
I Am on the Rock.
Uh-huh.
Thankful Heart. Lord, I Lift. I assume your name on that. Yeah.
1. And then my album?
Beyond Belief. So
1.5.
1.5. And then for encore,
God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
So we both had the same idea for the encore.
Yep. And we tied.
We did tie, so now we get to do the thing.
Right. Which is to count
the mashups.
The mashups.
So what they did for the mashups, to explain to you ladies and gentlemen, they took maybe like an 8 or 9 minute song, or they made an 8 or 9 minute song, and they played like 5 or 6 songs at about a minute and a half.
I would say between 45 seconds and a minute and a half of each. And you got to hear bits and pieces of some of the best Petra songs.
Yes.
Rather than only hearing 2 of the best, you got to hear several.
And for a band that has a career of 50 years, that's a brilliant move.
Yeah.
It makes everyone happy. We all get a little taste of what we want.
Oh, yeah.
So, especially when they play Minefield.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, so how are we going to do these? Because they're not in the first 5 or the last 5. Are we just going to see if we have them on our list?
We're just going to say for total number of chosen songs.
Total number of correct chosen songs.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so I guess I will read all of the songs off from your list. This is the lie list.
The lie.
And my list. Oh, wait. No, this is the lie. This is the one that says the previous list.
Yes.
Okay, let's get this all straight. So I'll read yours off first.
Okay, and we'll count total number, and it's the tiebreaker.
Correct. So
Okay.
whoever, the number doesn't...
Okay. It's a long list of songs because of the matchup, so don't read too fast.
All right. So here we go. All fired up.
Okay.
Walking in the light.
No.
Jekyll and Hyde.
1.
Beyond Belief.
2.
Creed.
3.
I know they played that. Adonai. Council of the Holy. Yep. I Am on the Rock.
Did that make it on the matchup? Yeah, 5.
Thankful Heart. Lord, I Lift Your Name.
6.
Yep. And then we know that they didn't play God Gave Rock and Roll
Yep.
to You.
Okay.
So you have 6.
I got 6 for the tiebreaker. Let's see how you did for the tiebreaker.
All right. Here we go. All fired up. No.
Right.
Still not on there?
No.
I was just checking.
Hasn't
Okay.
shown up yet.
All fired up?
Nope. No.
Okay. All right. This means war.
Yeah.
That was on there. I remember.
Yeah. That was what they ended their matchup with.
Seen and Not Heard.
Nope.
I was disappointed on that one. Jekyll and Hyde. I Love the Lord. No. Beyond Belief.
Yeah.
First Love.
No, that was a good one, but they didn't play it.
What's in a Name?
Mm-mm.
I Am on the Rock.
Mm.
Back to the Street. And then, Begging Rock on TV. So, only 4. So, you did it.
I won the tiebreaker. 1 point for me on the ever-running tally of which one of us is best.
So
Yeah. Everything's an opportunity to prove that it's me.
And it's currently you.
And it is currently me. I have the lead at this moment.
The prophecy is presently in front of your very eyes being fulfilled.
Yes.
As it is written.
So shall it be done.
Think about it. All right.
Okay. So we have wrapped up our game. Now, I guess let's close up with any thoughts about our experience at the concert.
So I had a question for you.
Okay.
For me, personally, the best moment was when they played Beyond Belief.
Yes.
So for you, other than that, what was the best moment of that show?
As ridiculous as it might sound, we didn't have it on any of the lists. We should have mentioned it. Lucas McGraw. The bluegrass thing, and then the story that he told behind it, which was on the album Petra, the very first album. It's their bluegrass song. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
And just getting that window into what it was like in that culture in the 70s, which we were not around for.
No, we weren't.
So it was really that kind of just made everything feel really intimate, like we were part of a 50-year story.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just really, really like it took it beyond our time with Petra. So that was my favorite. What's yours besides Beyond Belief?
Yeah, so I loved that moment. I love that we got the mashup, the rock mashup, not the mellow mashup. I did enjoy both, but the rock over the mellow mashup. But for me, I remember looking to you because the young lady who opened, very talented young singer, but everyone stayed seated.
Yes.
And
politely applauded.
Yeah.
And no one was disrespectful.
No. I mean, look, she was a true talent. It was just
not
she
the
was
right
a pop singer.
Not a right fit for a rock concert.
Yeah. So, but I enjoyed her music very much. So I was like, are people going to be sitting down for Petra? And for the first 2 songs, yes, they were.
Well, let's talk about the audience briefly.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Because you had people older than Petra, and people our kids' age.
Yeah.
Like you had 4 or 5 generations.
Yes.
In that audience,
there were families there. Some with kids older than our kids, some with kids at our age, or our kids' age, I should say.
Yeah, there were people that looked to be in their 20s or 30s. There were people that looked to be in their 50s. There were people that looked to be in their 60s through 80s.
Yeah, I would say if you just put on the very edges of the bell curve the young people like our kids' age, and then the older people like maybe our grandparents' age-ish, that really I would say it was a pretty even 3-way split between millennials, Xers, and boomers.
I would agree. Yeah.
So, but overall,
you had the outliers.
Yeah. So with that, it's like some people probably aren't going to be standing because they're older and they just want to be comfortable. But when they got to dance, because John Schlitt, the lead singer, was like, "Look, if you guys want to sit down the whole night, that's totally fine.
Right.
But if you want to get up, if you want to dance, just go for it." And I was like, "Oh, thank God," because then people started getting up. I'm like, "That's it, I'm getting up." And then slowly, I wasn't the one who led it, but slowly everyone else was getting up, and then it was a toggle back and forth depending on the type of song, or if we were getting a story from Bob Hartman or whatever.
Right.
For me, that was the thrill. It's actually it's not from my favorite albums, dance. Yeah. But I think that's Wake Up Call.
I think you're right.
Wake Up Call or Unseen Power. But it's a great song. Yeah, and it brought the energy. Everyone got up, and I was very thankful because I did not want to be sitting down.
No, those chairs weren't comfortable too. It's a rock concert. Yeah, it's weird to sit down the whole time during a rock concert. I don't mind taking a break, but weird.
Yeah. So one time I went and saw the Decemberists, and they were playing outside of DC at what I guess would traditionally be a place where an orchestra might play.
Right. That was at Kennedy Center, wasn't it?
No, it was somewhere in Rockville.
Oh, okay.
Like right near the metro station. I forget what the place is called. But literally everyone sat down the entire time. And I just thought it was really, really strange, and so did they.
Well, I had a similar experience with much smaller band, much smaller venue. I went to go see the Appleseed Cast in, I want to say it was either the Sidebar or the old Auto Bar in Baltimore. Very small venue.
Yeah.
And I'd never been to one of their shows before, no idea what to expect, no idea what their audience was even like. I found them through, back in the day, I think it was Pandora Radio, would do the recommended if you like thing, and they just came through on one of the recommendations, and I got super into them. So I went to go see them live, and the entire audience was sitting on the floor. There aren't seats. They were sitting on the floor like weirdos, and I was like, "This is not."
There is an art college not far from the other bar. Maybe they were just doing an artistic installation.
It's possible.
Yeah, like we like to call this listening to one of the best indie bands of all time, but not caring.
Yeah.
Deep.
It was also their low-level outdoor, which made it very. I was very fortunate. Made it very weird.
Yeah, but I mean, it's chill music. Anyway, digressing a lot there.
Yeah. That's a lot of hot Petra talk.
Yeah. But and then just the general vibe of the place was just great.
I mean, everyone was there to celebrate 50 years of just one of the most influential Christian rock bands of all time,
and just a great rock band,
and a great rock band overall, and just no weird shenanigans,
lots of polite people, just happy to be there. And I had a thought today where I didn't quite understand. I guess on TV, late 80s, early 90s, the Rolling Stones, they're still going, and they're in their 70s, I think, at that point, maybe, or 60s. Yeah, and it was like, the old guys are still rocking. But how it was, I forget which shows it was, but it was cross-generational. Like, the parents enjoyed it, and the kids enjoyed it. And for me, that was this, Petra was that for that time, where it's like, oh my gosh, this is something I listened to as a kid, and I'm loving it more now as an adult.
Yeah, 100%.
And I do have to say, I've seen a lot of shows, lots of different types of venues, from very small to very large.
That's good.
Thank you. And this is my favorite. I had the best time I've ever had.
Yeah, I'm having a really. I tried to think if there was a single show that I enjoyed more. There were a couple times where I got to see some really hard to see bands. Like I saw Savior Machine, who don't play in the U.S. very often. Well, not anymore at all, but back when they did tour, they were very rarely would they be on this side of the Atlantic. They're much more popular in Europe. So I mean, that just because of how difficult it was is up there, but it was a good show, of course. But I don't know that I ever actually. I was smiling the whole time. Yeah, like just infectious joy.
That's the best way to put it. It was a joyful time. Yeah, and I guess for me, that's what elevated it. Yeah, because I've seen probably objectively better music live. Sure, but that joy level wasn't there. Yeah, because this was a celebration. Absolutely, and everyone was there to celebrate, young and old. Young and old. Some older ladies out dancing in the aisles, just having a great time. I saw that. Like, okay. Yeah. So it was just fantastic, and it's going to be hard to top. It
really is, and it's also like I was trying to think. I mean, I've seen just about every band I've ever wanted to see, except for the really big guys. But that's going to be arenas. I'm not really into that. Yeah. I always prefer a smaller venue, and there's no way I can afford to go see the big guys when they play a small venue because that's a lot of money. Yeah, but I think. I mean, I'll probably still go see a concert or two here or there. I've seen more in the last year than I saw in the last 5 years. Just a lot of reunion shows have been happening.
I haven't been to. I was thinking I may not have been to one since my daughter was born. Wow, turning 15.
No, I mean, I definitely. There was a huge gap after becoming a parent. Yeah, huge gap. But
I'd have to really think if I saw one or two stray shows, but it's been a long time.
I think I saw. Wow, there went my brain. Didn't get enough sleep. I just pictured the Flanders. You can stay, but I'm leaving. Yeah, we'll put it on the jumbotron.
I pictured another Simpsons reference, which is where when Selma is going to marry.
Sideshow Bob.
Not Sideshow Bob. Troy McClure.
Oh, Troy McClure.
Yeah, but he tells Homer in a night of drunkenness that he's only marrying her for the press that he's getting for marrying a woman, a human female. Yeah. And so at the wedding, there's like, if anyone objects, please now say your whatever, and it's panning across the whole Simpson family, and it gets to Homer, zooms up to his brain, and goes, no, hey! Of course, he later tells Marge, but
it's a great moment. I forgot that one.
I saw it last night when I couldn't sleep.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We're both running on fumes today, as mentioned.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to cover? Shall we wrap it up?
The only thing I will say that I just appreciated when you get a nice, polite crowd like this, leaving the parking lot, having to make a left.
Oh my gosh!
And
People just made a hole for you.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah,
Just go. I'm in no greater rush than you.
Yeah.
Why don't you go?
We have always lived in the greater DC Baltimore area.
Yeah, there's not a lot of polite drivers around.
Yeah, politeness is rare.
But
so when you see
out
it
in farm country, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you, folks.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
the
that was
best.
great. That was
great. That was a huge sales pitch to get me to move up there, and it's working.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I got.
We'll put the tally up on the Jumbotron at some point. Maybe we did it already. Who knows? Like, subscribe.
Yes.
Hit your mic with your elbow. All that good stuff.
Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one.